Let's talk to Bob out there in California. Yeah, there he is. Hey, Bob, you got your mute button off?
Yeah, the deep state cut off my sound. I'm back again.
The bloody deep state again. I hate those guys. Go ahead.
Well, you ask God, who are you? He says, I am who I am. Candidate for Congress, 1994, 2nd District, Hawaii. Pledged to restore Hawaii's sovereignty and bring back the republic that was murdered by 300 Marines who landed off the Boston on January 17th, 1893, overthrew Queen Lokalani, locked her in the palace, handcuffed, and destroyed our republic. 130 years later now, we are the biggest de facto worldwide military CIA empire in the history of the world. And these people want to be president. Well, my friend John F. Kennedy came to me in a dream. He said, Bob, you're in me and I'm in you. And you're the acting president for me. Get on there and talk like the president. Well, okay, Jack. My duty as president under the Constitution, where we are promised that we live in a republic, but we haven't lived in a republic for 130 years. My duty is to get to be president with a pen in my pocket, repatriate every member of the armed forces back onto mainland soil, shut down all the 800 military bases overseas, and proceed with the Kennedy agenda that was shut down when he was murdered with the two Jewish guys with Uzis on the grassy knoll, Mossad, under Ben Gurion. Now they plan to build the Ben Gurion Canal. They found $1 trillion worth of oil and gas under, northern Gaza. This is an inside job being told.
It is.
But the thing is that I was brought up Jewish, bar mitzvah. Rabbi wanted me to learn more Hebrew. I said, you tell me why Jesus was kicked out of my religion. He said, you go across to the Curé of Ars Roman Catholic Church. I went to the priest, gave me a copy of the New Testament. I went home and read it in about an hour and a half. And I believe in Jesus with every beat of my heart and with all my soul. And the person who came on talking about, there's been too much talk about hatred tonight. What I learned is I am who I am. I learned that God is love. Love your neighbor as yourself. Nothing is hidden that is not meant to be revealed. And the meek shall inherit the earth. So all of you out there worried whether you're going to be dying in a nuclear war, Jesus promised that the meek, the ones who don't want war, will inherit the earth. So I'm aboard the Ark right now with John Wells and my 4 dogs. The blessed Ark from God in heaven above. And John Lennon was shot 43 years ago tonight on December 8th. And President-elect Reagan came into New York and went to St. Patrick's Cathedral with Cardinal Cook. Neither one of them said a thing about John Lennon being murdered. The New York Post showed the FBI agents wheeling him out dead with a sheet down over his face, so you could see that, that we got John Lennon. He was going to become a citizen and run for mayor of New York. They didn't want that, And when I ran for Congress in Hawaii, and I got the nomination, Republican, 2nd District, and people invited me to their church. I said, I want to bring God back to Washington. And at the church, I met the father-in-law of the shooter of John Lennon, who was married to a Japanese-American wife. I found out that he gave Chapman $10,000 in the gun to go get John Lennon, which he did. And
it looks like a CIA deal all the way. He visited YMCAs all over the world. I think there were 90 of them around the world. And the YMCA in those days was a notorious hookup for CIA operators.
Well, the CIA, the grandfather, Prescott Bush of the Bush family, who brought the Nazis over in their Operation Paperclip, translated from the German into English the NSA Act of 1947. Truman signed it September 18th, 1947, turning us into a Nazi nation, which we've been for 76 years. Then on May 14th of 1948, the Zionist Communist Party of David Ben-Gurion and the American Nazi government made the Nazi nation of Israel. And the Nazi nation of Israel was involved, and John F. Kennedy went to Ben-Gurion and said, listen, I'm collecting the nuclear weapons. I want you to give yours back. He said, get lost. I'm not giving it back. There was bad blood between them. Well, that's because, the witness who saw the two Mossad drive up to the top of the grassy knoll, speaking in Hebrew, emptying their Uzis out on the Kennedy thing down below. So John F. Kennedy's blood is all over Israel. I come from a Jewish background. I can't be anti-Semitic if I say that Israel is a Nazi nation. That Netanyahu is a Jewish Nazi, begins with a K, and he's joined by Schumer and others. And they threatened Tommy Tuberville, my friend, senator from Alabama, because he was withholding the appointments for all of these generals and officers to occupy positions in the illegal, unconstitutional, worldwide American empire. We are, and all these candidates running for president, RFK Jr. is a multimillionaire. He comes, he asks me for money. I said, look, come on, RFK Jr. And also, that song by Creedence Clearwater, Fortunate Son. Some people raised to wave the flag. Oh, they're born red, white, and blue. And when they play a hail to the chief, they'll point their cane at you. It ain't me. It ain't me. I ain't no senator's son. It ain't me. It ain't me. I ain't no fortunate one. I am Robert Harrison Garner. John F. Kennedy came to me in a dream. He said, Bob, you're in me and I'm in you, and you are the acting president for me, and you get on and you talk like the president because we don't have a president. And we haven't had a decent president since my personal friend Jack Kennedy. And I got 100 on the law boards. I graduated Wharton, and I called Jack up. I was 19 in 1963. I said, President Kennedy at Harvard wants me to go to Harvard Law School, but I'm going to Georgetown so I can work for you and Bobby. At which point, my personal friend John F. Kennedy said to me, well, Bob, when you get to Washington, give your resume to me. Don't give it to Bobby. Don't give it to Bobby. And I'm laughing, and I remember laughing on the phone with my personal friend John F. Kennedy. So we don't have a president. He said, for me, Bob, you are the president, because these others don't know their A from their elbow, and they don't know the duty under the I'm ordered by the Constitution to have. It says that we are guaranteed to live in a republic. We haven't lived in a republic for 130 years since the 300 Marines overthrew Little Kalani. But the good news about that is Texas, the Lone Star Republic, signed a contract with the American Republic to give up being a nation and being a state. I had an A in contracts at Georgetown. When a contract is breached, especially unilaterally, because there were no Texans on board, the Texans overthrown Little Kalani, so automatically 100, and I've been in touch with the governor of Texas, Ted Cruz, and the Republican Party there, who adopted my position that we are a nation. We are Texas. We're the 7th largest nation in the world. And California, where I live, under Governor, it begins with an S, is going to go down in an earthquake, the 5th largest economy in the world. Well, Texas is the 7th. Texas is rich enough it can exist without the United States. The U.S. can't exist without Texas. So Texas has America over a barrel.
Pretty good call, I would say. You know what? Thanks a lot. I really appreciate that call, Bob. I really, really do. I gotta get some other folks on here, but I gotta say, our flight engineer, Vicky, she was in the groove. I mentioned something was happening in my head, and I thought, wait a minute. And she rolled that song, and so now that Bob's brought it up, you know, it was 43 years today that MK Ultra, maybe, CIA affiliated and guided, maybe, Mark David Chapman pulled out a .38 caliber Charter Arms Bulldog and shot John Lennon 4 times. Why would you do such a thing? Because the powers that be, at least for now, they knew that if John Lennon said, I want 2 million people all together to stop this war, he never harmed anybody. And they would refer to his melon-chested oriental sleeping partner, his wife Yoko Ono, which was ugly. Why do they hate him so much? All he ever did was sing about peace. And that record that you heard a little of, Working Class Hero, that was from the first solo album that he put out with the what would become known as the Plastic Ono Band. And I remember exactly where I was. And something else. I was so upset when I heard this happen just because of what the murder of this man meant. Never did a thing other than sing about love and reconciliation. However, obliquely, the reconciliation part. But love, love, love. All you need is love. Well, it's true. It's the most powerful force on this planet, maybe any other. I was upset. I tried drinking a couple of swigs of Jack Daniels. I realized I got to have a mixer. I can't stand this. Almost about 2 ounces of it, and I instantly gave myself a headache. I remember it well. I wasn't a zealot. I didn't lose my mind, but the next morning I took a bar of soap. And you know that thing from Revolution 9, Paul is dead now, miss him, that thing. Well, across the back window of my 79 Trans Am, black, 4-speed, WS6, I wrote, Lennon was murdered, miss him. And I tore up a black T-shirt, and I tore off a strip, and I made myself a black armband. I went to work at the radio station. And I remember 2 or 3 people, particularly one man, who was a good guy, and he is in fact now a radio legend in Dallas, Texas. He said, "What are you wearing that for?" I said, "If you have to ask that question, you have no business working at this station." I mean, do you just not get it? I didn't think he had gotten it before, but I'm pretty sure he got it after I went off on him last night, or that next day, after that night. I was sitting with my friend Humphreys and my girlfriend at the time when the news came over the network, and it was like, oh no, it's just the worst thing that ever happened. Why murder that man? Of all the deserving people to get whacked out there, pretty easy to find. Why John Lennon? And I'm convinced now, as I was then, that it was a government-ordered assassination. Because despite the subject matter of his songs, somebody considered him dangerous. The usual suspects, the powers that be. The powers that be, at least for now. You know, you can kill a person, but you can't kill a movement. You can't kill an idea. You can't kill love, no matter what. It cannot be done. John Lennon is gone as of 43 years ago. Miss him. This is Caravan to Midnight, DEFCON 1. We'll be back with more of your calls right after this.